There you go. All right. It looks like almost everybody. Yep.
See, we sitting over here. Look, we need to sit down with you. So what's that, everybody? How y'all doing? You take this call. I'll be. Everybody.
I got something like you in front of it, so you can get it better.
That's it. 100%.
Brother? Hey, boss. All right.
Pledge of allegiance, Mr. Ford.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Invocation. Chief, would you do us?
Sure. Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings upon us this night, your wisdom and knowledge to be able to govern this city that you have entrusted to us. We ask the wisdom of Solomon to be upon all of those elected officials, that we may do the job you have called us to do. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Jeff Cavell,
Here.
Thompson Bradford Core,
Here.
Clint Cradair,
Here.
Ronald Fogelman, Vernon Martin, which one, Vernon or? Okay. Stephen Primo, Samuel Reggie III,
Here.
Kim Stringfellow,
Here.
Byron Wildridge.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Sure everybody had the chance to meet with Ms. Chantel. Okay, next, reading of the call, please.
Public meeting notice. A meeting of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley shall take place at 6 p.m. on August 2nd, 2021 at the Crowley City Court Chambers located at 426 North Avenue F, Crowley, Louisiana, 70526 on the second floor. I, Kim Stringfellow, a member of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, in conjunction with Byron Wheelwright, Vernon Morton, Samuel Reggie III, Brad Core, and Clint Cradair, hereby call a meeting of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley. The call for this meeting is authorized under Louisiana State Statutes 42-14-23. Public input will occur in person. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. August 2nd, 2021 at the Crowley City Court Chambers located at 426 North Avenue F, Crowley, Louisiana, 70526 on the second floor. Minutes will be taken and the meeting shall be recorded via video camera. The meeting is called under Louisiana Revised Statutes 33-405, requiring 5 aldermen. The following items are to be placed on the agenda. Number 4, discussion with public possible action on a resolution of the mayor and the Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, concerning participation at committee and regular meetings of the Board of Aldermen, specifically the setting forth of standards for public participation and the participation of members not to conflict with state law. Number 5, a resolution of the mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, introducing a proposed ordinance and calling for a public hearing concerning the same. To create section 2-4 of Article 4 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Crowley to provide for the placing of items on the agenda of regular and special meetings of the board by members of the Board of Aldermen. The regulations concerning the publication of said agenda, to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances contrary thereto and or in conflict therewith, to provide for the provisions hereof to be servable, and to provide for all matters relative thereto. This meeting notice shall be published in the official journal of the City of Crowley, as well as being secured onto the public notice board within City Hall. All members of said committee, as well as the ancillary individuals and officers, were given due notice via email on July 23rd, 2021 at 8 a.m. This letter was published in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statutes 42:19-2.
Now, before we begin, I just want to correct, my name is Will Ridge. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, we have a point of order. I need to ask, our city attorney, Tom Reagan. Is she the new clerk? Okay. Isn't it the protocol that she has to be confirmed by this council?
Just an interim appointment by the mayor, someone to take place now, and I think the, purpose of that is, as the mayor stated, is released to you, is to allow for a period of 9 days in which she will be, subject to a confirmation process, at that time, if she becomes the permanent clerk, in order to become the permanent clerk.
Yeah, but, with all due respect, I mean, if she's gonna handle personal business and public business for this body, she needs to be confirmed. She is considered a department head.
I disagree with that, sir.
Well, if you disagree with it, that's fine, but I just wanna make note of it, okay? Never heard of that before, but okay.
All right. Is there any agenda amendments? Ms. Stringfellow?
Thank you, Mayor, and Mr. Reagan, you may
Jeez.
correct me if I'm wrong, but we need to set a date for our ordinance, is that correct?
You need to set a date, you need it, and when that motion comes up, item of business number 2, you need to decide when that when the public hearing would be held.
We decide
Time and
that
date,
at that
yes.
time? Okay,
Time
okay,
and date.
all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other agenda amendments? All right. The purpose of this said meeting will be to discuss with possible action on the resolution of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, concerning participation in committee and regular meetings of the Board of Aldermen, specifically the setting forth of standards for public participation and the participation of members not to conflict with state law. If I may, I'd like to make a brief statement if I could. Ms. Stringfellow, I met with Mr. Primo about a week ago, or a little bit before that. He had said he had spoke to you and was asking to be able to meet, and I had asked Mr. Primo to contact you, and I guess there might have been a communication gap, and I was willingly and to be able to meet with you and Mr. Stephen Primo, and just the budget was just so overwhelming that it just took a lot of our time, and I wasn't able to meet, and I guess the communication was dropped at that point. To be able to meet with you this week, which was last week. Unfortunately, I regret to say that the budget was very consuming, very time consuming. So I would ask for this council to reconsider until after we meet, and I would like Mr. Reagan to be able to meet with us as well. I do have some concerns of the resolution, to be able to allow Mr. Reagan a little more time to research who we were just given this resolution today, and to be able to give him a little more time and to be able to research as far as our concerns with the guidelines of the Larson Act. I think we are moving in the right direction to be able to get, I think it's a good idea. I think we are moving in the right direction to where we can have a process that will work. But that's what I'm asking at this time. And also, on the item, when we get to that point on item number 2, if we could actually table that particular item and until we have this meeting to be able to move forward in any direction that we're looking to be able to work together. Thank you. So the first item, again, to discuss with possible action on the resolution of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, concerning participation in committee and regular meetings of the Board of Aldermen, specifically the setting forth of standards for public participation and the participation of members not to conflict with the state law. I'm sorry.
I so move.
Okay, offered by Ms. Stringfellow, seconded by Mr. Prater. Discussion? Ms. Stringfellow?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to read a brief statement regarding this and how it kind of came about. When I ran for office, I heard from citizens regarding issues of importance to their neighborhood, community, and town. Although I didn't make any promises, I continued to share their concerns and anticipated a clear point of focus for my term as Crowley Alderman. Having worked in healthcare, I was accustomed to helping people, and I was looking forward to this phase of service as a public official. I realized my fellow aldermen and the mayor are here to help as well. I soon learned that under the Larson Act, a mayor is subject to most of the governing function in this city. But even in a city under this act, a system of checks and balances are essential. Also important is having citizen participation. The people should be fully represented. In February, the Louisiana Municipal Association attorney suggested to me that the Board of Aldermen codify their committee meetings in order to set parameters for meetings. This resolution is simply setting internal rules for our meeting. Other municipalities have done so. Even the city of Crowley nearly adopted the same procedure around the 1980s. This action should not be taken as a personal affront to the mayor or any board member. This action should be taken for its intended use. The presiding officer of a particular committee should be able to determine his or her own agenda. The council should be able to hear our citizens' concerns in an open meeting with clear, concise, and fair rules that apply to all. This action should not be taken as a process by which to usurp the duties of the mayor, but only to add to the respectful tone that each one of us should strive to achieve. Thank you.
Mr. Martin?
First of all, if you read what was listed inside the newspaper, and I brought a copy of it, and I want to let Desiree and Steve and all of them know that was an excellent way of putting it, because you broke it down in simple terms. The problem that we have here, yeah, okay. All right, the problem that we have here is that you, as an administrator, does not have the power to dictate what we put on our agenda. Okay? That has been going on, and every time, well, I'm loud enough, I'm good. I don't know if it's controlled up there or not, but anyway. We are at a point now where if we have it your way, anytime there's something on the agenda that you don't like, all you need is just one council member to say no, and it's a goner. Everybody in here has their place in time. I take my duties very, very seriously. And I too sat with people, and while we're in Baton Rouge, I was sitting with a whole bunch of different people, asking questions and getting answers. You are the administrator of the meetings. Our committee meetings are our meetings. To be blunt with you, you don't even need to be here. Okay? We carry our own agendas. When we call for your assistant or whoever it is that's taking down, there's a question that goes on, and Ms. Jones is excellent at it. What do y'all want to put on the agenda? Everyone gets that, correct? Well, when we send what we want, you dictate what goes on the agenda. I have a serious problem with that. You know, because myself, I've been on the LMA's executive board for many years, recognized all through the state, all through Washington, D.C. And when I call, they pick up the phone. In fact, I had someone in Washington, D.C. watching our meetings, and he called me and said, man, I don't believe this. The power of a legislator is to make the laws. When we make the laws, it is adhered to by every council member. It is voted on by every council member. No person has the right to, once it is voted on by the body, a 50+1 is what we call a judiciary crossover, meaning majority wins. But the way you've been having this, and you throw it out frequently, I need a majority unanimous. There's no such thing as a unanimous. And Mr. Reagan, you made the statement about you never heard of a clean budget. I can get Mayor Butler on the phone. He's been a mayor for 36 years, and he told me he had his clean budget, 26 in a row. Well, maybe if you leave Crowley, you'll find other places. But you asked a question for us to delay. I want to tell you myself, I traveled all the way from North Louisiana, and I wanted to be here for this. And I would think that would be a slap in the face for you to even have the integrity or the audacity to ask us to table this. Okay? I made a statement to the chair, and she could tell you. I said, if I got to get a Canadian ambulance to drop me in a helicopter, I'm coming. Okay? But the bottom line here is this. The power of the mayor is to oversee the meetings, not to decide what's on the agenda once it is given by each council member. That's why we have department heads, that's why we have chairs of each committee. Now, I'm not here to try and deflect from the Larson Act. The Larson Act defines it as it is. And Ms. Councilwoman Stringfellow, I want to applaud you, because I knew that there was a city, I just couldn't think of it, and when you hit about Harahan, bingo. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to understand the facts. We are the legislative body. We make the laws, okay? His job is to make sure the laws are carried out. We're not here on an 8-hour day. We're not here from Monday through Friday. I've been challenging this council for the longest, since I've been on this council. We need to start meeting twice a month. Okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just call it like, I don't know what's happening here, man. It is what it is. This ain't working. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand the judiciary process. We make the laws. So if we give him anything, it's supposed to be adhered for a vote of the full body. The regular meetings that we have, the second Wednesday, that's his meeting. First Wednesday is our meetings. This is where we hash what goes on. That's why some of you are sitting in this meeting for 3 and 4 hours on the same subject. Okay? I just want to make sure everybody understand the way protocol is, and when you sit down and understand the fact that you have lawmakers and you have law carry-outers. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it is, okay? His job is to carry out the day-to-day of the city. I do not go to City Hall and tell them who to send papers to. So you don't have the right to come in my meeting and tell me what I can say on my agenda or what to put. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. I just want to remind you that our meetings are conducted under the Larson Act,
Yes, sir.
and I do appreciate your input. And that's what we're trying to do is follow the Larson Act. Okay, any other comment? Mr. Craven?
Yes, I just have a quick comment. It's nothing vindictive or anything that's going on here, just that we want to have our voice heard, and we certainly want to have the public's voice heard. And I think that can be controlled to a certain extent, because I know some things have gotten out of hand at some times, but I think that should be up to the committee chairman to do, and in the committee meetings. And council meetings are yours alone, we understand that. But the biggest thing here, I think, is just having our voices heard and having the public voice heard. And under the Larson Act, I think we have until 10 o'clock for our meetings to end. But we've never come, by law, we've never come close to that. So if somebody fills out a speaker card and they want to speak and they're following all the rules and not getting out of hand, not cussing or anything, and being polite, I don't see a reason. I'm willing to sit here until 10 o'clock if we have to and listen. We only meet twice a month. So why not listen? We may get some good ideas, we may not, but I think it's open for discussion. I think that's always been the case in the democratic society, is to hear, people's voice. So I don't see a problem with this at all. Matter of fact, I too applaud Kim for doing this. This is I think something that's been needed for a long, long time. Thank you, Kim.
Any other comments?
Just to add on just one thing, if I may, what Clint just said. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware of this. If you have a subject matter that you want to make sure gets across, and you only have a 2-minute or whatever the time differential is, get 3 and 4 people to sign the cards. Don't you know that just because your time is up there, you don't have to speak. You can yield your time to whoever you want, okay? So if you need 10 minutes, and it's 2 minutes per, you get 5 people. All they need to do is get up to the podium, give their name and address, and yield to whoever's else. Okay, I've been asked that question many times, and I've been trying to relay it to you. Just because it's 2 minutes, if you have 10 people in here that needs to talk, well, guess what? That 2 minutes just turned into 20. So I need y'all to understand that. Listen, I travel around the state, and one of the things that I do is that we make sure that every council member, the problem that this council had, and I'll say it now and I said it before, is that y'all have not gone to one training. Okay? And Mr. Mayor, that was on you. Because you took away the budget for the training. Had it been that each of these new council members would have been in training, one of the people that they would have been talking to would have been me.
Okay, Mr.
I just want to make that clear.
Are you done? I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, just to correct you, the reason why it was taken out of the budget back when was because of COVID, and we didn't have any training.
No, we didn't. That
So
was
we had LMA, and you passed and adopted a resolution, and to add $10,000 for us to be able to attend LMA. Am I correct?
Mary.
Okay.
I'm talking about
That's
the
all I'm
day
saying.
one.
I'm sorry,
COVID
Mr.
just
Martin.
happened
Mr.
last
Martin,
year.
I gave you the respect.
Okay, well, I mean,
Thank
but
you.
make it clear.
Thank you. I
Okay,
did
don't
make
use
it clear.
COVID
I did make it clear.
Don't do that.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
you're
gave
welcome.
you the respect, so please
Thank
give me the respect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I'm just correcting that. So if there's any more discussion, Ms. Stringfellow.
Mayor, can I read the proposed resolution? So everyone knows what's
That was the title.
right.
That was the title that was read yesterday.
Yes, did we read the 1 through 4?
No, it wasn't.
No, there's only that one resolution that we're talking about right now that the title was read. It just wasn't read in detail, but it was read.
Okay.
The title was read.
Well,
And if we
I
have a
guess I was
vote-
asking if I could read
apologize.
it in detail, is that okay?
I apologize, I have, the motion on the floor, we're about to call a vote.
Okay, there's just some things in there that are, we left blank, because I didn't want to of course, you know, I can't discuss it with the council until we come here. And like, there's, as far as the time limit for the citizens, you know, that's kind of ambiguous because,
Okay, you can insert it at this point.
oh, okay, so that's why I just wanted to kind of discuss that with the other council members and see what they thought about that. I had put 3 minutes, but, you know, I didn't want to step on any toes, and I didn't want to, because we're a team, and I wanted to, you know, respect their views as well. If they wanted to change anything, and I'm sure everyone's read 1 through 4, if you have anything you want to change on that.
Okay. You're offering a motion, amended motion to insert the 3 minutes.
Madam Chair, that's on you. As long as it's germane to the topic, you good.
You can offer an amended motion to insert the 3 minutes.
Offer.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Actually, the 3 minutes is on there, but it's, the blank that we have is not to exceed how many minutes? Okay, so not to exceed 5 minutes, if that's okay with everybody, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay? Yes, all right. You second, discussion? Mr. Martin?
Okay, I want to be clear. So basically what you're saying, that the time limit would be extended from 3 to 5, or is it
No.
continuous?
No, she said a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5. That's, if I'm not mistaken, is that correct, Mr. Infelli?
Okay, well, that's basically, okay, so basically from 3 to 5,
Not to exceed 3, but not to exceed 5, not less than 3.
okay.
But can I say,
Yes, ma'am?
but it also says that it would be up to the discretion of the presiding officer, which would be the committee chair. If the committee chair is having a conversation back and forth, then I think it would, you know, it could possibly go over 5 minutes.
Well, with that being said, you just make a motion, I would think, in cases like this, if it rises over the 5 minutes, I think you as chair has the power to canvass, your committee. And if they feel that as chair, you have the devoted time to devote to who you
Right,
want.
it's basically giving the presiding chair, the
Exactly.
presiding officer control over their meeting.
Mr. Infelli, what I was getting at, and that's why I wanted Mr. Reagan to be involved in that, to make sure that we are following the Larson Act to the T on that as well.
Okay.
It can be inserted, that's what you're requesting, but I would also put a contingent in making sure with Mr. Reagan that we are doing exactly by the law of the Larson Act.
Okay.
All right, please, no more discussion. This is on the amended. This is on the amendment that is the motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Yay.
Okay. All right. Any other amendment? Okay. Okay. All right. Look, the vote has been amended, and looking for, again, we had discussion, we'll call the question to the, right,
You got a motion to adopt.
motion to adopt as amended.
I'll make that motion.
By Ms. Stringfellow,
Second.
second by Mr. Martin. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yay.
One. Okay, next, to consider a resolution of the mayor and board of aldermen of the city of Crowley, Katy Parish, Louisiana, introducing a proposed ordinance calling for a public hearing concerning the same, to create section 2-4, Article 4 of Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Crowley to provide for the placing of items on the agenda of regular and special meetings of board by members of the Board of Aldermen, the regulations concerning the publication of said agenda, to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances contrary thereto or in conflict therewith, to provide for the provisions hereof to be severable, and to provide for all matters relative thereto. Motion offered by Mr. Core,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Morton. Discussion? Okay, now, this is only to set a date. And this is only to set a date. Ms. Rington,
May I set the date, or may I suggest a date?
you can.
Okay,
Sure.
Wednesday, August 18th.
Wednesday, August 18th. We'd have to call a special meeting for that.
Because I think August 11th won't meet our time.
And I don't,
Is that correct, Mr. Reagan?
that's correct,
Okay.
but I don't know if it'll also meet our time. We'll have to check and make sure. And we can do it, and it'll make sure that we meet our time. Mr. Bandy maybe could answer that question as far as publication time. But,
What, 10 days before?
It's 10.
So we'll have to run on the 8th, the 8th is Monday. So we'll have to run like Friday on that. If it's coming from.
now, to be safe, just to be safe, to make sure that we have all regulations met, you can do it at the September meeting,
No.
entirely up to you.
Can we do it on the 20th, that Friday?
Again, I was also offering, to save the expense of the
I
city.
know, I'm so sorry, but we've already, had so much time. And so I would suggest we do it on that Friday, August 20th.
Okay,
Madam Chair.
Yes, or what's his meeting?
hang on, Mr. Martin. So you're offering August? Let's look at the calendar here real
At
quick.
6 p.m.
And what was the first one you said, August 18th?
Yes, sir. But he said, yeah, Mr. Bandy said that would work.
I think the 18th would probably work. I'm looking at my calendar now and counting the days of publication.
I don't know what the deadline is for legal.
Steve, can you get in on, do you know if you'll have space on Friday? This Friday?
You want to go right now? No, I don't know if I speak.
Right, we'd have to call, and
I would imagine, it's not a long meeting.
No, it's not,
I would imagine it's not long, but, yeah. If you get the copy in
yes,
the time, you can't wait till.
just, it's just a notice, not the whole thing.
okay.
So we're saying the 18th,
18th, yes,
okay,
ma'am.
at 6 p.m.
August 18th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, any further discussion about that date? Mr. Reggie?
So would you need a contingency just in case? Like if you can't get it in, then we,
I think we'll have plenty of time, but it's gonna be for us to be able to call Post Signal tomorrow to make sure that they have an opening at that point, 10 days prior, which 10 days prior to the 18th, of course, gives us a few more days to be able to work on it. And since it's such a small publication, it won't require a whole page, and we probably have a little bit of room for it. Okay? All right, Mr. Martin?
Okay. Jim, the way you suffice that is that you use the term, the first available date, okay, that this can be carried out with the understanding of the Larson Act. So that clears anything, but you can, ad lib to the point that you want it done this month, okay? So, I mean, once you do that, Steve, that will work for you as well?
I don't think you can do that.
No, I'm asking, no, I'm just, you're just learning this,
Mr. Martin?
Listen, Steve, what I'm asking is this, if it goes by the first available date, that means that you're gonna tell her what's the first available date, not her telling you. In other words, if you look at your schedule, okay?
No, Mr. Martin, can I clarify it, please?
Well,
Mr. Martin, we're gonna be calling first thing in the morning. We're gonna call Ms. Carla with the Post Signal. She's gonna let us know a date of publication, and I'm gonna let her know when we have to run it by these particular days.
Okay, but you just had a council member just ask for second contingency. If it's not, we can't
Since it's
call it
such a
again.
small, very small, I don't think we'll have a problem with it.
Okay, we just wanna make sure.
Yes.
That's all, thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. All in favor? It's just a set of dates. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Any other business to come before the council? If not, I ask for adjournment. Offered by Mr. Core, seconded by Ms. Stringfellow. Thank you.
I know I broke the law.